Hello, everyone. My name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is December 8th, 2022, and Bitcoin and the rest of the cryptocurrency markets are on a slow grind up, okay? Looks like we're grinding up ever so slowly and preparing for a big breakout, okay? It's been so for quite some time, but I mean, this is what the technicals are showing us. So we just want to be consistent in calling things as we see them, okay? It's not necessarily hopium as much as just, this is what it shows. So right here on the 4-hourly time frame, looking at the Bitcoin USD chart, as you can see, I just put in this trend line, okay? And this is what we've done, right? In the past few days, okay? We've come down, obviously, in such a manner. And right here, right around 940, 16940, we just broke this resistance that has been in since the 4th of December, okay? So 4 days of resistance just broken, okay? And I think retested just on that small time frame. Let's go down. So you can see, this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this being an important level, okay? Right where we're at right now, okay? Just because this is that resistance, and this may very well be the resistance that breaks to take us into this next huge move, okay? If there's a move up here, it's going to be huge, all right? As I see it. And it's not just because this is an inverse head and shoulders and this is a neckline that we're breaking. Let's redraw that. All right. This is the retest. Boom. But also, if you want to zoom out in a more in a higher time frame, like the weekly time frame, right? You guys know we are at the bottom, okay? We're at the bottom of this really, really large trend, okay? Look at this trend. This is not just some common bottom. People need to understand. This is the bottom, right? Just in terms of support and resistance, take your opinions and all that stuff out of it. This is the bottom of a 3,500 day trend. Okay, that trend is the bottom of this channel right here, right? Do you see that? Boom, 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 right? Since 2014, you've been in this channel. You're currently at the bottom of that channel. Every time you've been at the bottom of that channel, you found your way up, okay? And right now we're at the bottom of the channel, but we're at the bottom of a channel in such a way that we've never been. Because here you have a throw under. And for those of you who are not familiar with that term in Elliott wave theory, it's, let's say you have a channel and price goes up and down and up and down. This is a throw over, that's a throw under. It's basically just wicking down below support, wicking right above resistance. That's what we call in Elliott wave theory a throw under, throw over, okay? So you had a throw under in 2015. But this throw under is a little more extreme. It's that much more pronounced, okay? The one that we just had on November 8th. And that throw under was obviously caused or coincident. Let's just keep it technically based and I'm not going to jump to conclusions. You can derive your own conclusions, but it was coincident with the news of the FTX collapse. So make of that what you will. But November 8th, coincident with the FTX news, you got this throw under of this massive trend line, okay? 3,500 days. I don't even know how many years that is. That's a long time. What is that? 8 years, something like that? I don't even know. But it's a long time, right? So this is if you guys really look at it, it's, you know, you don't have to go into on-chain analysis. I mean, you could do all that stuff, but just look at the charts. The charts provide a wealth of information if you can read it. The charts are telling you this is a generational buy for Bitcoin and all cryptos, right? All these people saying that cryptocurrencies, like I see this all the time on Twitter. I think it's annoying. I don't think it's funny. I think it's annoying. So many people write this exact tweet or phrase. 99% of all cryptocurrencies will go to zero. It's like, what? What are you talking about? Like, and maybe these people have been in the market for what, 2 years, 3 years, maybe 4 years. You know, they've been in. They don't necessarily. There aren't students of they're not necessarily students of technical analysis, of charting, of, you know, price history and stuff like that. We're talking about a market, crypto that is, that's only about, what, 10 to 12 years old. So for you to say 99% of all cryptos are going to zero, like, first of all, what crypto has gone to zero? Second of all, how do you know that? On what are you basing that? Like, people are just talking out of their asses. This is why I always say on this channel, I'm not going to insult anybody. It's not my point of talking. My whole purpose in saying all this is do your own research. If you do not do your own research and you don't study this kind of stuff and you just listen to what people say and sell your cryptos because, you know, somebody said on Twitter that 99% of all cryptos are going, everybody says that. It's like a talking point. I don't know. It's like something that so many people repeat just dumbly without thinking. Like, then you're going to lose out, right? Because if you really look at this, every single time you're buying the bottom of this channel, it's a generational buying opportunity. Okay? Generational buying opportunity. And this corresponds to a generational buying opportunity in all cryptos, not just Bitcoin, all cryptocurrencies, okay? Because this market kind of moves in lockstep. So if Bitcoin's at a generational bottom, just imagine what other assets are going to be at. Do you see what I mean? So yeah, I really feel like this is an important bottom and we just hit that, and so it's very likely that we move up from here, as I've been saying. Excuse me. And so yeah, if you look at the small time frames, you can see that this move, although, you know, it's a small time frame move, the heft, the importance, the significance of this move cannot be understated. If you zoom out and you see where we're at, we cannot lose this bottom. Losing this bottom means losing a 3,500 day trend. Do you see what I mean? It's unlikely. Everything's possible. We think in terms of probabilities as traders, as technicians. Everything's possible, but it's improbable. More likely than not, it is a low from which you matriculate upwards. And this is what we're seeing, okay? So that remains the analysis. And this is why we're bullish, and we've been bullish, to be quite frank. You know, for those of you who follow my work, you know, I've been bullish ever since we were over here, you know. Obviously, I wasn't really looking at this in this way, but had I been looking at it in this way, I'd have been obvious. It would have been so obvious to me. Like, obviously, we're gonna come test the bottom of the channel. You know, that's kind of a technical fact. You know, you come up, you go down, you at the very least, you come to test the support of the channel, if not even, you know, wick down below it. But yeah, that's exactly what we did. Boom, boom, right? So the next likely move is up, And as I said before, on many occasions, you're going to have resistances on the way up, but I don't anticipate any significant resistance until we reach the middle of this channel. Wherever, depending on when we reach it. I don't think it'll take necessarily too long, but I'd imagine, right, whenever that is, it's gonna be, it could be, let's see. If we reached it, I don't need this tool. If we just shot up and hit during this week, it would be at 64K. Okay, so basically you'd be back in all-time high region. You wouldn't be making all-time highs, but you'd be in that zone. If we reached it the next week, it would still be at 64K, and then week after that 65. Do you see what I mean? Mid 60s. I wouldn't be surprised if this is going to play out. That was our first significant resistance. Yeah. So yeah, that's how I'm seeing Bitcoin. Nothing's really changed. We are still doing what we thought we would. Obviously, it's slower than most people would like, but such are the charts, and this is why trading is not something that most people can do. It takes an unbelievable amount of patience, an unbelievable amount of commitment, not just to be able to read these trends, but then execute them, follow through with them, right? Okay. In all of this, we need for the DXY to behave. We need for the DXY, the underlying asset of these risk-on assets of cryptocurrency, to continue to go down. And this is what it looks like it's doing, okay? What do we have here? All right, on the 4-hourly time frame, as I've said, this is most likely some intra-wave correction. I said it was kind of a wave 4 correction. It still can be a wave 4 correction. But what's important is that this right here, it represent resistance. And that's exactly what you see. Right? Two things happening here. One, you have this entire pattern right here. Maybe it's a double top, if you want to call it a double top, or some sort of head and shoulders. Doesn't really matter. But you have this pattern and this neckline that I drew out, right? And that is creating some resistance, right? So what did you do? You broke, let's redraw that. You broke the neckline, right? This is the neckline. You broke it, and now you're retesting it. And this is proving to be resistance. And now you're continuing that pattern down, okay? That's very important. So this is what's happening. And the second thing is, on an even smaller time frame, let's jump into the hourly time frame. What you're getting is a bearish pattern. Again, you can see these left and right. Let's try that one more time. That's better. So what's that? A head and shoulders pattern, okay? You have a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. Excuse me. Still getting over this cough. So yeah, you have a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder, and you broke. So what's the confirmation of any head and shoulders pattern, inverse or a regular, is a break of the neckline. Here's the neckline. Here's the break of that neckline. You want to retest it and then continue. Breakout. Okay? We love that. That's exactly what you're getting here. And so yeah, this is bearish, at least on the small time frames. You can see that. But again, I really can't emphasize this enough. Even though you can see that this is a head and shoulders pattern on the hourly time frame, it's not a big time frame. What this means in the larger scheme of things is massive, right? This basically means it's confirming a continuation of this head and shoulders pattern, that, or double top, M top, whatever you want to call it, that's breaking to the downside, okay? And then it's also a confirmation that, that this head and shoulders pattern, let's go on the daily, we don't need the weekly, that this head and shoulders pattern is breaking down on the daily time frame. Do you see? It's like whatever time frame you go on, you can see that a larger move is playing out. Okay, that is a massive breakdown of the DXY, the US dollar currency index, the underlying asset of most transactions in the world. Okay, and when the value of the dollar goes down, the value of risk on assets, the value of places where of assets where people go to hedge against the dollar devaluing, right? They go up by virtue of the fact that the dollar is going down. It doesn't necessarily mean that people are pumping money into Bitcoin. They may very well be, but given that the underlying asset is going down in value, it inherently drives the price up of these risk-on assets, stocks, cryptos, equities, all that stuff. Okay, so that's what's going on. That's what it looks like. Now, given that this is a bull market, again, we should be able to see other assets outperforming Bitcoin, right? Altcoins should, by and large, be outperforming Bitcoin. Okay, or at least they will, in the larger scheme, or in the larger bull run. Okay, thus far, Bitcoin's up, 0.7% for the day. Some other altcoins are up just a few percentage points. But yeah, don't be surprised if you see these altcoins quickly and kind of setting the pace, setting the tone for the next move. Okay, so they're up by a lot more than Bitcoin is, right? They started moving a lot sooner than Bitcoin did. All that stuff, right? Look at Synthetics. Synthetics is already put in this 5-wave sequence, right? And this corresponding 3-wave sequence. This looks like a quintessential wave 1, wave 2 situation. As you can see here, 2 days, 7 hours on the way up. 2 days, 8 hours, very comparable on the way down, right? So waves of the same degree are comparable in time and in price. Wave 1 and wave 2 typically tend towards equality. This is what we're seeing here. Okay, so I really like that for Synthetics. Let's give a quick look at our general watch list. Seeing if anything in particular is moving, big movers. I guess this is the biggest mover, MFT, followed by Band Protocol, and then Kadena, and finally Dodo. But you can see that there are some assets that are starting to move, okay, and they're starting to put in that positive price action. So this is an indication, I believe, of the larger move in crypto, okay? So let's go down the watch list now. Polkadot is still kind of where we left it yesterday, right? In that A, B, and then obviously what we have here is likely some sort of consolidation reversal pattern that should break out, okay? So that's still playing out. Same thing with Cardano. Remember, on these consolidation reversal patterns, you're doing the same thing. It's time frame agnostic, so you're still looking for 2 degrees of AB basing, right? An A wave, a B wave. Let's see. I feel like the B wave is this. I feel like that's your first degree. This is probably your second degree A wave right here. And so you need another degree B wave, I believe, okay? I would read it like this. Maybe wrong, but this is what I would wait for before a breakout. Right? So that's Cardano. Let's go back on the 4-hourly time frame. Reserve rights. You can see kind of the similar thing in Bitcoin. Obviously, it's not exactly the same, but you broke out of a wedge and you retested the resistance as support, and you start basically matriculating. You start consolidating for a big move up. And that's pretty much it. So you see that in reserve rights. Dodo is showing you very strong support at this level. Okay, and as I said yesterday, I think this is one contiguous counter wave. If that's an A, I think this is a B. Oh, sorry. B. This is a secondary A wave, secondary B wave, and I think this is the start of your impulse up. Ethereum's showing strength, kind of like Bitcoin. I think it is in a leading diagonal with your wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4 situation, and I think you're just coming out of that wave 4 situation, but still you're at resistance right now, as you can see, but you're just now breaking it. Okay, so is today the day we celebrate? I'm not exactly sure, but after 600 or so days waiting for this, I'm preparing myself to wait. Okay, that's it. Excuse me. I'm preparing myself to wait. That's it. Just reading the charts, but preparing myself to wait, and we'll see what happens. Zilliqa, yeah, still coming out of this second degree AB base, still coming out of this consolidation reversal channel with a small pivot. Okay, I think this finally does yield a breakout of some sort at some point. Dogecoin, I still do believe that this is a wave 1, wave 2 situation of sorts, and you're going into wave 3, right? You just been slowly but steadily matriculating up and out of that level. Litecoin did something interesting. Again, I'm not too concerned with this intermediate wave count, right? How does this wave 3 break down? I don't know. But I will say this. Thus far, this proves to me like a quintessential complex correction running flat. Okay? This is a WXY. Whatever we said before, that looks very, very, very like much like a WXY. Okay? So, do you see that? It's very straightforward. 3 waves down, 3 waves up, 5 waves down. I think that's a very clear, straightforward count right there. Now, is that a double 3 wave 4? Possibly, probably. You typically get those you typically get those complex correction in a wave 4. But now, is that wave 4 of the primary degree or intermediate degree? I'm not exactly sure. I think I think let's see something. 1 second. Yeah, no. I still think this is a wave 1, wave 2, and wave 3 is something that we should expect up there. So if I had to guess, I would say that this is wave 4, a running flat of the intermediate degree. So that wave 3 isn't yet finished, and we may even have an extended wave 3. No clue. Okay, But I still think that my count is likely that this, whatever this is part of a wave 3 progression. Okay. Synthetics we already talked about. I see it as being in a running flat. Obviously for continuation to the upside. Algorand, interesting. It's putting in that AB base, but look at the bullishness here, right? Look how strong that that A wave is. Probably a second degree A wave right here. Do you see that wick? Yeah, whatever is happening, it's a consolidation, and it's going to yield a really strong breakout. And you can tell because look at that. I mean, that's one of those moves that just clears all the orders. And I know a lot of people probably think that this asset is exhibiting weakness and have a lot of sell orders and stops around here. And what something like that does is just clears them out for when this all finishes and gets ready, and so it can go unperturbed. So it's a kind of a clear out wick. I don't know the technical term for it. That's just what I called it, and how I see it based off of experience. I've been one of those guys, you know. And once I see that and I get hit by it, I'm like, oh crap, okay. And then I flip, right? I flip my bias and try to get involved in the other side of the trade. Back when I was, trading more intraday. In any case, here's the Binance coin, still in that B wave triangle. It's gonna come up in a second. Jeez, trading view slow. There's no way I erased this, or did I? Okay, here we go. Whoa, that was really slow. Okay, still see this as a B wave triangle, and what we're getting now is a breakout out of that. So you've seen all that consolidation. Each of these is 4-hour candle. Okay, you're eventually gonna go up from here. So yeah. Last but not least, XRP also in a B wave, also breaking out of that. Okay, so everything's looking good. Don't see much change in the charts. Nice ass login says, do you ever look at charts on Dex tools? No, I don't. Akanksha says, hello, Akanksha. What nice ass login. What's significant about the charts on Dex tools? I'm assuming that that's showing us charts of assets on decentralized exchanges. I can't really speak right now. Decentralized exchanges. That's tough to say for me for now. Maybe because of that cough. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. I don't really have much anything different to say. I'm still waiting for that move, just like everybody else. I'm long on pretty much everything, and I do think this is the bottom of the bear market. So I'm excited for the bull market to start in earnest. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Akanksha says, this is the bottom then, BTC holding up well. Yeah, like I said, I really think that people calling for 10K, I don't know if they really, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder what the hell people are looking at. I mean, do you understand that if you're calling for 10K, that's not a throw under. That's a break. That's not a throw under. That's a break. 10K is all the way the fuck down here. You broke that channel. Do you understand? Like when you're calling for 10K, you're breaking a 3,500 day trend. So that's not a small. I really don't know what people look at, honestly. And these are people taking people's money for technical analysis. They have trading groups, paid discords, all that shit. Good for them. You know, make your money, hustle on. But it's like the people that listen to them, like, do they not have trading view? Like, if you're calling for 10K, why not just call for 5? Like, I actually, if I were bearish calling for 10K, it's kind of like, why stop there? Because if you're gonna break the channel, you're going to break the channel, and the minimum you're going to, you know, when a channel breaks, this is again trading 101. Channel breaks, it breaks the height of the channel, right? More often than not, that's just the technical target. Technical target is the height of the channel. That target would be 2007. So 2700. That's where Bitcoin would go if we really broke this channel. Why would you just stop at 10,000? You know? Like, there is, whatever you want to say, the proof is on the charts. For 3,500 days, we've held this trend and we haven't relented. If we're breaking this trend, we're breaking this trend. You're not halfway pregnant. You're going to break it. So it's either we go up from here or we go down for a couple more years, probably, you know? Because think about it. You have to first draw down and then you have to absorb all of that. Again, this is basic, you know, technical analysis. Once you draw down all that way, then you have to spend time absorbing all that supply, doing consolidation reversals. So people are like, oh, yeah, I think we go down to 10K, and they're on TV saying this. We go down to 10K, and then, you know, after a few months, go back up. It's like, we went down this much, and it took about the same amount of time. It took 180, 200 days to absorb that supply. If we go down to 10K, right, we take at least about as long as we did absorbing the supply from 60 to 20. That's just how it works. You have to absorb supply. That's why you have consolidation reversals, right? You don't just move up, right? It doesn't just spout up. Nice Hash says, this thing will run hard this year. I believe so. Akanksha says, have you seen Thorchain rune chart? Looking good. Let's have a look at that. They have charting stuff you can use also. Nice Hash Login says. He's referring to Dex tools. I haven't. I'm ignorant to Dex tools. I've used Dexes before, but I'll say that most of what I do is using centralized exchanges. I take that risk, but you know, I think Dexes are the future. I think in 10 years, that's going to be the future of this space. Tahir says, can you check the Head and Shoulders pump to 17K, then to 16.4, 16.6? Head and Shoulders pump to 17K. What do you mean, Tassine? Then a run on the trend line. What do you mean? What do you mean? Like, please be more specific. What asset are you looking at? Are you looking at Bitcoin? What time frame are you looking at when you're observing a Head and Shoulders? Is it a Head and Shoulders or an inverse Head and Shoulders? Inverse Head and Shoulders going up, Head and Shoulders going down. Okay, BTC, 4-hourly time frame. Okay, we'll look at that. We'll look at Rune as well for Kongsha. Let's go 4-hourly time frame. And yeah, I know people use pump. We haven't had a pump in years. Like, you know, I don't consider anything outside of an impulsive mode being a pump. I would call it a move, but okay, that's just, you know, semantics, I guess. to 17K. Are you talking about this head and shoulder, inverse head and shoulders? Yeah, I've noticed this. I've mentioned it many times. That's pretty much my analysis. Aside from the Elliott wave count, that's my main analysis. That this is an inverse head and shoulders, and that we retested this neckline as support, and that we're looking for a move. But I'll say this. This is where pattern analysis doesn't tell the whole story. This is why you learn Gann, Wyckoff, Elliott, and you learn other more refined, more subtle chart reading tools, right? You learn how to use other things other than just basic pattern analysis, because pattern analysis will have you think that this inverse head and shoulders is only going to 18.3. So a lot of people that are only used to trading on small time frames, and there are a lot of people out there, right? They don't really have a high time frame view. Like, technically, sometimes they zoom out, but they don't think in terms of like, okay, let's zoom out on the weekly, let's zoom out on the daily, and then trade that technically, right? They're just trading in and out of small time frames. They only see this as the target. And you'll see, you can backtest this yourself. Even if you see a bullish pattern or bearish pattern, and the technical target of that pattern is what it is, if it's at the bottom of a trend, this represents a macro bottom, a lot of times that target is simply just an intra-wave correction to a larger move. So anybody that sells right here is missing out on generational wealth. So yeah, I'm not even concerned by this technical target. I don't know if that's where you're getting at to see. Okay. So Tassine says the 6th of December, head and shoulders before the drop. 6th of December, head and shoulders before the drop. Yeah, this ain't a head and shoulders. Oh, I see what you mean. Wait, what? Wait, what do you I don't see what you mean. I want to. You could say all of this is a head and shoulders, but I mean, that's not the 6th of December. That's I don't see what you mean, bro. There's no what drop though. Are you talking about this being a drop? This is not a drop. See, I don't know. I just excuse me. If you're trading really small time frames, you're gonna see a lot of up and down. It's noise. On the 4-hourly time frame, if you see anything, I think I see what you're talking about. I think you're talking about this. Is that what you're talking about? That's an intra-wave correction. But in context, this is why I'm saying, like, a lot of traders get really, really confused by time frames, and I was one of them. You want to be able to train your eye to see relevant patterns, because there's always something going on, but not every up and down movement is relevant. This is why the tools of Elliott, Gann, Wyckoff, they help really they help your eye filter out the noise. This is not a head and shoulders pattern as much as it is some sort of complex correction. Okay? It's more likely than not a WXY. Okay, and that Y being a double zigzag, or a zigzag rather, right? WXY, something like that. Like that, to me, I couldn't even see. Like you said, head and shoulders. I really didn't even see it because my eye filters that out. My eye doesn't see that as in head and shoulders. My eye sees this as a head and shoulders, but that's all that I see in terms of a head and shoulders on this page. Like I would never look at this as a head and shoulders because it's not. And even technically speaking, you've already, let's say this is a neckline. I think I see what you mean. If this is a neckline, you broke it, you're retesting it, now you're going to dump. Okay, I think I understand what you're talking about now. Now, a lot of times, so head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders, you can go on Investopedia and you'll see that they're called reversal patterns. Okay, called reversal patterns because they usually herald price going in the opposite direction. Now, they're not, no pattern is 100%. And even when we say this head and shoulders is confirmed once the neckline is broken, a lot of times you'll see this and then this. I've been on the wrong side of these trades so many times. When I first started trading, I was just armed with the understanding of these patterns and when they were quote unquote confirmed. And so I would look at it, and once this broke and retested, I would short this and then get smoked with this move. It happened so many times. This isn't a head and shoulders, man. Because look, I'll tell you why. If you look at this as being a head and shoulders breaking down, then why are you neglecting this inverse head and shoulders breaking up? Which one do you ascribe more significance to? The larger one or the smaller one? That's your tool, that's your task, right? As a trader. At a certain point, I promise you won't even look at this as a head and shoulders. Like your eyes will literally filter it out. And it's just, I think it comes with experience and just trading these markets over and over and over again and looking at these charts over and over again. You'll see a head and shoulders for a head and shoulders, but this, you can make a head and shoulders out of this, yeah, for sure, but it's not that. So yeah, I think pattern analysis is great, but it doesn't provide the context to really be accurate. It doesn't provide any context. So yeah, Tassine says many analysts have been mentioning it. Like, you literally have to be a type of analyst that has tunnel vision, that only knows how to go on the 15 to an hour time frame, right? If you look on the daily, the weekly, the monthly, the 4 hourly, there's no way you're talking about that. Yeah. No problem, Tassine. All right, let's look at Rune, and then let's call it a stream. But yeah, it's helpful. And we're all learning here. I'm still learning as well. But yeah, I've come across that same issue that Tassine is referring to. There's so many things going on, so many patterns. Like, what is important? What's significant, right? What's going to break out? What's going to break down? Like, it's not easy. But that's just my 2 cents. All right, let's add Rune. I don't think I have it here. Let's see. Let's just do all sources. And let's do the trading view chart Binance. Okay, yeah. So Conscious says Rune's looking good, and it is indeed. Okay, and this is, a very good example of what we're saying when we say altcoins are going to lead the charge. Okay, just looking at this on a higher time frame. Okay, I'm looking at this and seeing this is an impulsive move. This is a 5 waves up. I'm not gonna even. I don't need to count it on this time frame daily. Going up this much, That's impulsive. That is a trend, okay? And this is your intra-wave correction right there, okay? So this, whatever you want, 5 waves, 3 waves, okay? In terms of the timing, it's 565. Yeah, it's comparable. If you add the excuse me, if you add your consolidation reversal, you know, the time it took to go up and the time it took to come down are comparable. Okay, if I'm looking at how much it retraced, okay, this is really interesting. This is really interesting. As you can see, the 382 Fibonacci retracement is the minimum retracement for a wave 2 correction, okay? And wave 2 typically takes about the same time as wave 1. So if you look at this and say this is wave 1, this is wave 2, it's possible. It's possible. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying it's possible. Although we know wave 2 typically is, whoops, not that sharp. Wave 2 typically sharp, right? But this technically fulfills the requirements for wave 2 correction. But I'm not going to say that this is definitely wave 2. It may or may not be. It may be a wave 4 correction or something like that. I don't know. But all I'm saying is this looks complete. Because I see 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? That is a completed complex correction, right? It's a WXY double 3. Now, everything after this is a consolidation reversal, okay? And that's what I see on Rune. So if I look on the smaller time frame, we can start counting from June 18th, which was the same day Bitcoin and Ethereum and a lot of other high-level assets, tokens, coins, put their orthodox low in, okay? For me, this is quite simple. This is a 3-wave move, targeting wave 4 of the previous trend. Very clear, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is my A wave. Okay, now I need a counter to that. Okay, I need a B wave. 1, 2, 3. I would take this all the way down here. Okay, this is interesting. Okay. So that's my first degree of AB basing. Is the second degree of AB basing satisfied over here? Or is this, all of this small a? If I'm in Rune, Akanksha, if I'm in Rune, I would not be surprised if something like this happened. I'm going to repeat. If I'm in Rune, I would not be surprised if something like that happened. Why? Because I'm looking at this chart on the 4-hourly time frame, and since June 18th, I'm looking at 2 degrees of AB basing, and I'm seeing 1 degree for sure, and I'm trying to decide if everything that happened since November 8th until now is either an A wave or a completed, the second degree of AB basing is completed, and then the impulse starts. It's possible. I'm cautious. I'm cautious of this being a second degree A base if I'm in Rune, okay? And I know that by and large, if everything else in crypto is going up, you know, if most things in crypto are going up, Bitcoin's going up, everything else by and large is going to go up. But there's always a an edge case. There's always an exception. Something's kind of lagging behind or front running or something like that, right? So I would be careful if I was in Rune for this move right here. Okay, if I'm an investor and I don't really care and I don't have a liquidation point, I don't give a damn. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not doing anything. I'm not trying to be like cute and wait for a potential move. I'm just leaving it because chances are it's possible. I don't know how probable it is. It's possible. This was your second degree AB base right there. And this can continue to go up. I'm just going to watch this and monitor this. But again, if this happened in Rune, I would not be surprised. Not be surprised for your second degree AB base. Because I'm looking and I only see 1 degree of AB basing, right? You look at any other asset, most other assets we look at, you can clearly see 2 degrees of AB basing. That to me, this cannot be an A wave and this a B wave. This broke, you know, this has to be part, this is all one contiguous B wave right there. Like I can go into the technically the reasons, technical reasons for why that is, but it's highly probable that this is wave 4 of the previous trend. Highly probable that this is your second degree A wave. Highly probable. And that you get one of these. Would not be surprised. So, yeah, if I'm an investor, I don't really care. If anything, I'll just buy more when it gets here. But I would not be shocked if that happened. In Rune, okay? I don't think that that's necessarily the case for the rest of the market. I think the rest of the market, most crypto assets are legitimately bottomed at this point. But yeah, that's what I think about Rune. Okay, and it's not because it's bad or anything. It's just that's what the technicals are showing me. There's no, you know, I'm not ascribing any like fundamental reason to that or like, you know, it's just, you know, that's what the technicals show. All right, that's it from me, guys. Hope it was helpful. Hope it was useful. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, hopefully we can see some breakouts, like some serious breakouts in the markets. I'm tired of waiting for these consolidation periods. Really am. I'm trying to see actual pumps, right? Pumps in the market, you know, that yield double-digit gains. You know, it's been a long time coming, and yeah, there's just a lot of fatigue. Checking the charts, waiting. Checking the charts, waiting. Yeah. Any case, that's it. Take care. See you tomorrow.